used to beg, I used to break at every word you didn't say. I learned to smile through the pain. Call it strength, call it change. I stopped asking you to stay, stopped standing in your way. Some loves don't crash or burn, they just quietly turn. I didn't want to lose you loud, so I learned another way. My heart learned to whisper goodbye, so it wouldn't fall apart. I let you go in the quiet to protect what's left of my heart. Some endings don't need a fight, or one last desperate try. My heart learned to whisper goodbye. I packed your name away inside with memories I won't deny. No anger, no regret, just love I haven't lost yet. So doesn't mean I didn't care, it means I survived the tear. My heart learned to whisper goodbye instead of screaming your name. I chose peace over waiting and healing over pain. I love you softly, and never was enough. I was still bleeding when you left, still learning how to breathe again. You asked me to be strong too soon while I was breaking in that room. I said I needed just a little time. You said you'd already crossed that line. You moved on while I stood still, trying to learn how not to feel. I wasn't ready, I was real. You left before I could heal, before the scars turned thin. You walked away mid-pain and left me to begin. I wasn't whole, I wasn't strong, but I was trying still. You left before I could heal. Every night I stitched myself with words I never felt. I carried what you dropped like it was all I had. Maybe love should wait until both hearts are safe. You loved before I could heal, but I'm learning how to now. I won't bleed for someone who couldn't stay around. I'll heal without you. someone who couldn't stay around. I'll heal without you. You chose distance, I chose grace. Didn't harden in that place, even when your words were cold. I didn't turn my heart to stone. I could have matched your sharp goodbye, but I held tears behind my eyes. I didn't win, I didn't lose, I just stayed true. I stayed soft in a hard ending, didn't let the hurt decide. I let you go without hating, even though it broke inside. I walked away still open, even when love was bending. I stayed soft in a hard ending. Some people leave to save themselves, some stay gentle through the soft hearts still survive. Oh, I stayed soft in a hard ending, didn't let the hurt decide. I let you go without hating, even though it broke inside. I walked away still open, even when love was bending. I stayed soft in a hard ending. I stayed soft in a hard ending, didn't let the hurt decide. I let you go without hating, even though it broke inside. I walked away still open, even when love was bending. I stayed soft in a hard ending. And I survived. Open my heart like a fragile door, hoping you'd step in and stay for more. Every word I said, every glance I gave, felt like a wave crashing brave. But you walked past without a care, left me standing in the empty air. I reached for you, but you turned away, and I was left to face the day. I held the nights we shared inside, memories that I could never hide. I gave my love, my all, my soul, but you never made my broken heart whole. I whispered softly, called your name, but love like ours wasn't meant to remain. I hoped you'd see, I hoped you'd try, but you let us fade quietly by. I thought love could bend, could stay, but you didn't choose me back that day. peace, a brand new start. The love I gave, though left behind, will teach me to be gentle, kind. I'll guard my soul, I'll rise again, find the light beyond the pain. Though you didn't choose, I'll survive and keep my heart alive. Some love isn't meant to stay, it passes quietly away. I'll honor what I gave to you, but find a love that's true. You didn't choose me back, even when I gave my all. I loved with open hands, but you let it fall. I stayed in hope too long, but now I see the track. You didn't choose me back, and I'm moving on at last. I'll love again, but this time I'll be seen. Held on to every promise, even when you strayed. Kept believing in the moments that slowly slipped away. I waited in the shadows for a love that never came. Kept my hope alive in secret while hiding all my pain. I thought that love was patient, that hearts would find their way. But sometimes hope can linger too long in a world of gray. I gave you all my waiting, all my silent prayers, but love moves quietly forward and sometimes leaves you there. I thought hope would save us both, but it was only mine to hold. My hope waited too long, kept my heart in your hands. I believed in a future, slipped like grains of sand. I stayed in the moments that weren't meant to stay. My hope waited too long, and I learned to walk away. I replay every late night, every word left unsaid. Every time I imagined you while lying in my bed, I learned that love isn't always patient, that hearts can't always bend. Sometimes the waiting has to end, even if we hoped it wouldn't end. Hope is a gift and a lesson, but sometimes it's a cage. It keeps you holding on while life turns another page. My hope waited too long, whisper to your absence all the words I'd never show. I stayed when the story faded, clung to the parts that burned. Even when the lights went out, I never truly turned. I loved in quiet corners when the world forgot our name. I held on to the fragments even when they brought me pain. I replay the times you smiled as if nothing had changed. But love isn't always patient, sometimes it rearranged. I tried to keep us whole, even when the pieces fell. I loved you past the end, even when you walked away. Kept your shadow in my heart, even though I couldn't stay. I gave my all beyond the time, beyond what you could see. I loved you past the ending, but now I set you free. I whispered to the night sky, hoping you'd feel my soul. But love can't live in absence, it can't make broken whole. I let go of every longing of a future that was gone. I loved you past the ending, but now I'll carry on. Some hearts hold forever, even when they must let go. Alone in what we were, but not what cannot grow. I loved you past the ending, but I won't stay behind. I'll take the lessons and the love, leave the hurt confined. I gave my all beyond the time, beyond what you could see. I loved you past the ending, and now I love me. I loved you past the ending, but I'm finally free. The room still held the heat of us, empty glasses, broken trust. Your shadow lingered on the wall like you never left at all. I heard the door but didn't move, didn't know what else to do. The words we said were sharp and loud, but silence hurt me more somehow. I sat with all the things unsaid, every tear I never shed. You fell asleep like nothing changed while I replayed every frame. The laughter died, the truth stayed. No more games we had to play. When nothing pretty was left to show, that's when my love began to grow. This is no stage, no sound, just me and what was breaking down. I loved you after the lights went out, when the world stopped watching us. No music left, no saving face, just pain and stubborn love. When it was dark and hope felt thin, I stayed when I should have run. I loved you after the lights went out, when loving you wasn't fun. I cleaned the mess we never faced, put your name back in its place, folded nights into my chest like unfinished tenderness. You said sleep, I said okay, but my heart stayed wide awake, trying not to make a sound while everything was falling down. Maybe love is quiet then, when it stops pretending. Maybe that's where truth begins, when there's no happy ending. I loved you after the lights went out, when excuses couldn't breathe. I gave you what was left of me, with no guarantee. But love shouldn't hurt like this, so now I'm letting go somehow. I loved you after the lights went out, but I love myself now. The room is dark, but I can see. The words weren't said all at once, they trickled in like fading suns. A quiet look, a softened tone, and slowly I felt alone. Each night I waited, hoped you'd stay, but love began to slip away. I learned goodbye in pieces small, until it wrapped around us all. I held your hand, I held your gaze, but even that couldn't delay the gentle drift of hearts apart, a silent breaking in my heart. I traced the lines of what we had and realized the pain, the sad goodbye doesn't always shout. It creeps inside, then finds a route. I thought I'd see it coming fast, but it lingered slow, it wouldn't pass. I learned goodbye slowly, every moment, every sigh, a love that faded quietly, no thunder, no loud cry. I watched the space between us grow, distance, felt the wall. I learned goodbye slowly, and treasure what we couldn't keep, the laughter shared, the nights of sleep. But love that leaves in silent waves teaches hearts how to be brave. I'll rebuild, I'll start again, with gentle hands, without the pain. The echo of your leaving stays, but guides me to brighter days. Some goodbyes are soft, not loud. They hide inside the crowd. I'll honor every whispered part, even when it breaks my heart. I learn goodbye slowly, every moment, every sigh. A love that faded quietly, no thunder, no loud cry. I watched the space between us grow, felt the distance, felt the woe. I learned goodbye slowly, and I'll carry you softly in my soul. Goodbye came quietly, but I'll rise gently. I gave you every piece of me, every word, every dream. I stood beside you in the dark, even when you couldn't see. I held hope like a fragile flame, hoping you'd fight to stay. But love isn't a solo game, and you just walked away. I watched the distance grow between the us we tried to keep. I whispered prayers in lonely nights while you surrendered sleep. I never asked for grand gestures, just honesty and care. But you let the easy way win and left the way to bear. I thought love was meant to hold, but yours let go too cold. You didn't fight to keep me, didn't stay when I needed you most. I gave my all completely, but your heart was already ghost. I loved, I hoped, I tried, but you left without a sound. You didn't fight to keep me, and now I'm standing my ground. I replay every choice I made, every moment I held back. But love isn't one-sided, even if the road is black. I let you go, though it hurts, though my hands still ache. I'll guard my heart from empty love, no more chances to take. Some hearts aren't built to stay, some love drifts like the wind. I will survive the quiet loss and learn to start again. You didn't fight to keep me, you didn't care enough. I'll find the strength to heal from a love sat in shadows, no one near, listening to echoes of my fear. Every thought of you came soft, but left my heart aloft. I cried in silence, no one knew the tears that fell, the shades of blue. I held my chest, I held my soul, and let the night quietly take control. I whispered words I couldn't say, hoping somehow they'd find their way. But love like ours slipped through my hands, like footprints lost in empty sands. Each sigh became a steady stream of memories I couldn't redeem. I learned to let the silence stay and let the sadness have its weight. I thought if I let go too fast, I'd lose the moments meant to last. My tears fell softly alone. No one saw, no one knew. I loved, I waited, I mourned in shadows. Only you withdrew. I cried without a witness, felt the ache, the unknown tone. My tears fell softly alone, and I faced this pain on my own. I replay the nights when you were near, your laughter whispered in my ear. But even joy can fade to gray when love decides to walk away. I'll carry all I felt inside, even when the world has lied. My heart may ache, my soul may bend, but I'll find the light at the end. Some hearts cry quietly, some hearts ache silently. I'll honor what I held so dear, even if you're not here. My tears fell softly alone. No one saw, no one knew. I loved, I waited, I mourned in shadows. Only you withdrew. I cried without a witness, felt the ache, the unknown tone. My tears fell softly alone, and I learned to face the unknown. Quietly I heal, softly I